Very inspiring. Love the flower show.
Oh yeah.
Will you guys be down there?
No,
because we keep you busy here.
Keeping busy here.
Well, thank you for being here.
That's my pleasure.
All right, so let's talk about a plant you will invest in. It will become just something that you cherish so much so I think one day if I ever have to move, I'm going to have to take them with me.
You should. You absolutely should.
This is our one-piece Itoh hybrid peony live plant. It's spectacular. It comes in a 1-gallon container, the largest that anyone ships out here on the Q. 3 easy pays at $16.33. But you know what? If you want to buy more than one of these, use your QVC credit card, and that would be 5 easy pays at less than $10. So you could think about that. You have to pick a color. That's the hard part. But if you could swing 3, maybe you could get one in every color. There's red, pink, and yellow, and I'll let you walk through what we're looking at.
Yeah, so here in this next image, those are the 3 choices.
Okay.
Like you were saying, like if you can, get each and every color, maybe even a couple. I gotta say, you know, 49 bucks might sound expensive, but I promise you, this is the best value on any collection we offer all year long. And the reason is, so peonies, I'm from Indiana, where garden peony is the state flower. I love garden peonies, and so many of us do. We have so many memories. But there's one memory that many of us share with the garden peony that we all hate. And that's when those big, huge, fluffy flowers are starting to really open up. And you go out to your garden one day and they've just totally flopped over onto the ground. Next thing you know, they're covered with ants and all of your hard work has gone to nothing. Well, there was a man by the name of Mr. Itoh who spent his entire life trying to correct that problem.
That's so
cool. He
took
took that traditional garden peony, he crossed it with the rare Japanese tree peony, and what he achieved are these beautiful Itoh peonies that have those large, fluffy, fragrant flowers. But rather than just having, you know, fleshy growth, they actually have a strong woody foundation on the base of the plant.
That's the difference.
That is the difference. That is the secret. That is what makes the Itoh peony the Rolls Royce of peonies, the very best of the best, the cream of the crop. Because this is a peony, it doesn't need stakes, it doesn't need cages, it's never going to flop over on the ground. It's just going to do exactly as you want it to do.
Well, pink and yellow are getting very limited. There's 300 remaining in them for the season. So we're getting to that time of the year. And yes, you're thinking, really, Pat? I mean, it's just the beginning of March. We are planning, we're helping you plan your garden. You are reserving these. This incredibly beautiful plant will come your way when it is time for you to put it in the ground. And I also love the fact that, I mean, it's so established.
It is. This is a 2-year-old plant. This is what we ship to your door. It arrives, you know, free of charge. We're not, you know, if you do a search online, look for Itoh peonies. You're not going to find a 1-gallon pot this size for this value. What you will find are these little things called the bare roots, which are, how do you get them planted for one? Number 2, they're going to be $60, $70, $80 or more. Number 3, you're going to have to wait 3 years for this to produce flowers. We've done the waiting for you, so you're going to get flowers the very first season.
And you're going to have these for up to 50 years. That's the thing I think about. This is investing. If you want the yellow.
I love the yellow.
200 remaining now.
And look how it has those gorgeous like streaks of red in the middle. The flowers are big, bold. They're 8 to 10 inches across. They're fluffy. And Pat, the coolest thing is, when these have reached their full maturity, by like your 3rd season, you can expect up to 50 of those flowers blooming on your plant.
Wow, on one plant.
On one plant. Imagine if you get 3 of them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would be incredible.
And here's the pink. This is at my house. There's my lovely wife, Samantha. And you can just see how large those flowers are next to her face. And they're beautifully fragrant. And what I love about these, Pat, is they're very winter hardy to -30 degrees Fahrenheit, but they're also able to be grown in warmer areas. Oh, here's the red. Look at that.
Yeah,
that's also in my garden.
Wow.
It's a sultry, rich red. But so because they have the tree peony parentage, these can be grown down to zones 9. So if you live in Southern California or Northern Florida, those are areas of the country where you cannot grow garden peonies because it doesn't get cold enough. These ones can be grown in those areas. So you can bring peonies to, you know, areas of the country you haven't been able to grow peonies before.
You need more than one of these.
You really do.
Use your QVC card, your credit card, our store card. I'm trying to get my hand in my pocket to find my card to show you and remind you, because I know it's a little bit of an investment, but guess what? If this lasts for 40 to 50 years, I mean, imagine.
They're incredible.
Now, mine will bloom like right around Memorial Day, and I have a lot of shade in my yard and stuff, so sometimes my things bloom later, but Memorial Day.
That's about right. That's perfect. They're going to bloom, if you do grow the garden peonies, these are going to bloom just before those garden peonies. And you know, because this is such a spectacular plant, maybe you know someone that's just moved into a new home, maybe your children.
That would be so great.
You know,
What a
or
good
maybe
idea.
you're like me and you're about to have a baby. You plant this when they're born,
sweet.
and they're going to grow up seeing these plants. I know at my family's home in Indiana, my parents moved into that home in 1992. They planted some red peonies in their garden back then. They're still at that house, and to this day, what is that, 30 some years later, those peonies still bloom every single spring. That's
33 years later.
33 years. And so, you know, you can expect that with these ones as well.
33 years later, you invest in it once, you plant it once, and that's manageable enough to plant. All right. Any tricks about planting it? Do I need to amend my soil?
No.
Okay.
They're super easy, and that's what we wanted to really make sure by giving you these large, established 1-gallon pots. We're not sending you a bare root that you have to figure out how to get planted and then wait 3 years to plant, 3 years to get flowers.
Right.
This is what you'll find from the competition. This is what you find from Roberta's, because we've been doing this for so long. We know what you want. We want to make your life easier. We all want,
and here's the other thing: the deer have not eaten my peonies.
They don't.
Knock on wood.
No,
they're not interested. Why? Because it smells?
I don't know, but peonies are known to be like lavender that the deer don't touch.
Okay. Well, as long as they don't like it, and so then when it's done blooming, it stays green, so I have these beautiful mounds of green for the rest of the summer. At the end of the, and then you taught me when the flowers are dead to take them off.
Yeah, exactly.
I never did that before, you told me.
It's a good thing to do with your peonies.
And then it's a clean plant, and then around Thanksgiving, they're all brown, and then I cut them back.
Exactly.
And they come back.
And the other thing that you can do to really get the most out of your plants, use the time release fertilizer. This is my favorite to use for plants like these peonies, because the day that you plant this, you just sprinkle some of this onto the ground around the base of that plant. And that's going to provide it all the nutrition it needs for the whole season. So it's super easy. This is brand new this year. Once a year.
Once a year.
Maybe twice if I'm feeling
I told you, there's nothing easier than these. They do need sun.
These like about a half a day of sun to a full day of sun. If you live in the south, give it afternoon shade. Here in Pennsylvania, they'll handle a full day of sun, no problem.
Okay, mine get morning sun, and and
that's great.
They're doing good.
You know,
really
the thing is, we've had these for the last couple of years. Every single year they sell out, and you know, if they're great in the ground, but they're also awesome in containers.
Can you imagine in a container? If I'm going to do it in a container, how does that work?
Well, just the same way, because they're super winter hardy to negative 30 degrees. They're going to go perfect in our party pots, the 15-inch. The 15-inch party pots. We have two different sizes. So if you do like is it 16-inch? I can't remember.
No,
15 or 16.
I think it's 15.
They're perfect in these containers, and my uncle Eric, he actually says that he you know, loves to grow them in containers on his deck. He likes it more than growing them in the ground, because he can put it onto, you know, by his back patio and really truly enjoy these flowers.
Can you imagine how beautiful that will be? And let me also say this: these will not fall over. These will not be filled at all with ants. When you cut them, what you might want to do is take a bucket, fill it with water, and dunk their little heads in there, and then shake it off, and then bring them in, and that's just your reassurance.
Yeah,
absolutely. Is that okay?
Yeah, but like you're saying, these ones don't get the ants because they don't have that same nectar as those garden peonies do. But just look at these blooms. There's
well,
like
if you want the yellow,
across.
There's 150 remaining for the season. These are going to sell out. If you want the red, how about the pink?
The pink is my personal favorite. It's like a soft bubblegum kind of pink.
I like pink peonies too. They're fewer than 900. Look how beautiful they are. Okay, and now the red.
the pink, it has the 3 different colors into it.
Fewer than 300 in the red.
The red,
so
it's
they're
a
really going
super
quickly.
sultry red. Look at all those layers, and it has those bright yellow stamens in the middle. Those are what are going to attract all of our butterflies and all of our pollinators. You know, these plants are incredible.
Do they have a fragrance?
They have a light fragrance. They're not
Yeah.
going to be as heady as some other garden peonies, but it's
yeah.
a really lovely fragrance.
Yeah, it really is. I love the idea of build to, ship to. I'm going back to what you said. So who's having a baby?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, what a cool thing to plant one for each one of your grandchildren. And then they will survive up to 50 years. Imagine
Totally.
that. That's a cool thing.
It's
That's
really
a really
special.
way to, or in memory of someone. You
No.
could certainly do that. That would be a lovely plant.
Since my wife and I moved into our home 4 years ago, every time we plant something new, it's like it marks a chapter in our life.
Yeah,
and it's
very
like,
cool.
oh, I remember we planted that. We were doing this at that time. And this is a plant that where it's like, remember we planted those Itoh peonies? That was like right when you moved to America from Colombia, where she's from. Is like, it's really cool. And these plants, the Itoh peonies, just take a look at this. This is what makes the Itoh peony special. This woody stem. It's because it is a hybrid cross between a garden peony and a rare Japanese tree peony. The result is a peony that has a woody foundation. That means you don't have to stake your plants, you don't have to put cages around them, and the flowers are never going to flop. Oh, and everything comes with the growing guide.
Everything comes with the growing guide. You convinced me. I'm going to get 2 pink.
Get them.
With all the other, I just keep adding every year to my peonies, and you just can't have enough peonies.
I have a couple
Yeah?
videos about Itoh peonies on my YouTube channel, Plant
Okay.
Vibrations.
Plant
if you want a little
Vibrations.
bit more information about them to get the most out of your plants, go check it out.
Okay, definitely. You may get me to do
You
the
should
YouTube
try.
thing. I
You
don't-
should try.
How all that time I